that flow. Well, we reviewed Southbound. I think I gave it a 5, but
no, you gave it higher than that.
Did I?
Yeah,
maybe
I
a 6.
Recently listened to it.
But I think that you should score higher on something like that because this has been done to death. Honestly, I mean this.
Yeah, what would you give that wraparound segment?
That one didn't we do that one? Oh, no. The wraparound. I'll just do the movie as a whole, I guess. I give the movie a 7.5, but yeah, you're right. The wraparound segment is probably the best part of the movie.
I would give the movie.
It's weird you never saw that either.
Yeah, I never even heard of it before. I would give it a 6.75.
With the wraparound segment, that is probably my favorite, and then it's tied between the first and the third segment for second best. So I would probably go with about a 6.5, 6.75. So I'll say 6.75.
Cool. And that was After Midnight on to our next
Let it all hang out.
We both live in this rotted house, the only remains of our poor and long-terminated family. Realities have since sieged into mutual acceptance. The two of us trapped in this residential carcass like a dying fish in an aquarium of empty memories.
Alright, so the final film for the anthology episode is, I guess I'm like the lone supporter of here. So Kareem Hussein's Subconscious Cruelty from, 1999 or...
Yeah,
it was in the 90s. Yeah, it was in the
90s.
Remember a year on this one.
Yeah,
but,
it was closer to 2000.
This isn't a film that has like much of a linear storyline. It's mostly surrealist and art house and just
art house.
Yeah, it definitely has that sense of art style to it.
Well, it is. It's surrealist and it's
it
art
that.
house. Then it has the feel of like Jodorowsky and Arabal and.
Oh, don't you dare!
It's not as like profound and spiritual as Jodorowsky, but it's in that same vein of just like odd set pieces and exploring unconventional ideas and whatnot for film. Even like, Dali and Louis Buñuel and stuff. I'm not saying that it's anywhere near as good or that it, but it is comparable. I mean, it's surrealist. You can't deny that.
It was made. You can't deny it.
Jesus Christ. The film doesn't have like a wraparound story, but it has an introduction basically explaining that reality sucks and that films are cathartic.
That's his approach of this movie.
And that human reality is far uglier than any film could ever achieve. And then he kind of like...
This film that achieved it.
Achieved what?
What you just said about humanity.
Oh. Then it goes into a bit about like left and right brain separation and like the left brain being...
That was interesting.
Logic and the right brain being creativity and passion and whatnot.
I like that he knew that, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean...
That's cool.
It was kind of a nice beginning to this movie.
Then it cuts to a nude woman on a table and a hand caressing her.
Full fucking lips, everything.
Yeah, lots of explicit, graphic nudity in this film. It covers her face with a red cloth and like...
Because she's ashamed to be a part of this movie.
The scalpel cuts into her pelvis and takes an eyeball out of her reproductive organs and sets it on her pelvis to observe.
Very artsy.
God damn it. And then we cut to our first actual story. The guy is watching his...
Oh, is it an actual story? Okay, go ahead.
Well, I mean, this one, it probably has the closest thing to...
Yeah, this one has
a linear story.
Okay, it captures like a couple days in this guy's life.
This is the closest thing to like a coherent story in the whole film. But it's some dude, he's watching his pregnant sister sleep. He's obsessed with her.
Not that hot to be obsessed with your sister. If you're gonna fuck your sister, you got a fucking 9.
Oh my god. There's just like a lot of, diatribes and monologues from him about obsession, like his sister and her reproductive system and stuff. And there's like a basic breakdown of reproduction.
Very basic.
And then there's, the scene of him masturbating and rubbing the semen on the light bulb. I want to say that, I was watching
That's the part where I started yelling, art, art, art! But
I want to say that like we were watching this at my house one time, and Ray fucking like noticed the screen at that moment. It was what are we watching here?
Yeah, this movie will definitely be making you say that quite a bit.
So he wants to have sex with his sister, and he has like a flashback of a sex dream with his sister that turns into a nightmare about menstruation and her bleeding to death. Like he's playing with her in bed and she starts bleeding, and it's kind of like that scene in A Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, it's not.
Not quite.
No.
But so like his pregnant sister, she goes into labor, and he intends to create the greatest mockery of the birthing process.
The director did the same thing with the movie. It's a great mockery of a movie.
You can tell Ken likes this.
But he describes the birthing process as like the baby having total body sex with its mother, which is kind of an interesting and perverse description of childbirth, but that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I'll say he's not wrong in that aspect.
This whole scene is very graphic, and he's between her legs, and as the baby is being born, he cuts its throat and hangs it over its...
Which it shows everything with the pregnancy. Like, giving birth.
He holds the baby over the mother's face and, like, covers her with the blood, and takes the umbilical cord and sticks it back in her vagina and describes it as looking like a thin penis.
Oh, yeah, the entire dialogue is just a narration of what this guy's saying. That's the only dialogue in the entire movie. Is
basically, yeah, it's just this guy, his monologue and description of what he's doing to his sister and what he wants to do and whatnot. Then, like, the dead baby above the kitchen sink. He keeps the dead sister and he sleeps next to her. He says he tries to fuck her, but he doesn't like it.
Yep.
It's, that's a pretty perverse little segment, for sure.
What would you give that?
It's not my favorite segment in the movie, but it's probably my second favorite one. I would give it a 7.
I give it a 1.
I won't go that low. I would say I give it about a 4 to 4.5.
All right, you're being kind, but it actually made me think. This segment, anyways, is like I don't think I've ever masturbated while I was like kneeling down towards the floor with my legs bent.
Like maybe in the Spider-Man pose.
Yeah, like maybe I'll try it and thank the director.
I think my belly would get in the way.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. My knees are shot.
Yeah, this one to me just felt vile for the sake of being vile. Like I don't mind.
The whole movie, like, was that for me.
This one especially, though, just felt like that.
No,
it's not. Vile for the sake of being vile is like toe tag and
fucking
August Underground.
Terrible shit.
I like that stuff too.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
but this is far more like cerebral and artistic than any of that.
That word's gonna keep
I will say artistic
word.
Artistic, yes.
What?
But it's just I just did not enjoy that. Like it sickened me to watch.
Is
it.
art imitating art artistic? Because that's what I got from this.
Well, no, it just has like the way it's filmed and everything like that. It just has like this artistic feel to it. But it's
a premeditated like artistic feel. That's what he's going for because he's influenced by these other artists. I don't know. Let's go on to the next segment.
Yeah, I'll say this one's just... Yeah.
The next segment is just kind of like, I don't know.
Fucking weird.
It's like a weird Wiccan nature orgy kind of thing. There are nude people writhing on the ground, covered in mud, and like reaching into bloody holes in the ground, and like tree branches snapping and bleeding, and women filleting bleeding tree branches.
Well, the one part where the guy's filleting the girl,
the bleeding dagger. Yeah,
that's supposed to. She's playing the part of Mother Earth. That's how. And it's so artsy. You didn't even catch that. You should have caught it. It's art. I read it. Didn't have to watch it to know that.
Yeah, this was a really short segment too.
Well, I was going to say that it's pretty much obviously just an allegory for the way that human beings rape the planet. And
yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
Yeah, but you didn't let me get that far.
No, you got that far. Just now. And I said, yeah.
Okay. We
made it, dude.
So, just a kind of a little short segment there, but lots of nudity to enjoy.
There was lots of nudity. Give me that.
The art factor on that was probably a 10. But I give it a 1.
It was artistic. It was autistic.
It was autistic.
You're autistic.
What would you give this segment, Randy?
This one, probably just like a 6.5.
Yeah, I would give this a 3.
You said really like that was low, you're going to go higher, that you went 3. Like, oh, so he's disappointed when he said his really to you.
Yeah, I expected to go a little higher.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because he loves this art house stuff.
Yeah, I just didn't really, like, I understood what he was trying to do with it, but I just did.
Yeah, you get the message. If you go to IMDb, you can break down. Director, I'll do it. I have the director's quote on his own movie later, but I got it off.
Save that for the end.
But you get a breakdown of what these segments really mean on IMDb. Like, they're all metaphors or messages.
Yeah, I'm sure that they are,
I mean, you could have done it completely different. You just write an essay and not make something shitty, or just do a blog.
Well, what are you going to give this one?
I don't think blogs exist.
I gave it a 1.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Jesus Christ. So the next segment, there's a guy in a diner. It's a very loud crowd. He appears to be uncomfortable and doesn't want to be there, so he goes home and starts watching porn and jacking off, and he ejaculates and starts rubbing his semen on pocket change, flings some at the TV screen, and then it's kind of this Hellraiser-esque part with fish hooks through his dick and ejaculating blood while...
Can you stop at ejaculating blood? I just thought this whole segment was rude. I mean, we're intruding on this guy masturbating for what, 7 minutes or something? Leave him alone, dude. We don't need to see it that long. I mean, pan over, the guy's beating off. Oh, we caught him. Blah blah. We have to watch this guy beat off. Was it blurry in yours? Because mine was blurred out.
What was
his
blurred out?
Dick?
No, mine was not blurred out.
It wasn't. Mine was blurred out.
No.
Thank God, mine was blurred out.
I had to buy a region-free player and a German import DVD to even see this movie.
That's weird. So how big was his dick? Was it good size?
Pretty average.
Pretty average? Because mine was blurry. The blur makes it look way bigger. You know it does.
Christ.
That's why I blur my own.
So, they're torturing his dick and fondling it and shredding it and peeling it like a fucking banana. And they tear off his cross, and someone says, that you wear this symbol out of fear. And then they melt the cross on tinfoil and freebase it like heroin. There's a circle of syringes. And they fill one with the cross and inject it into his brain. And it says that you always dreamed in black and white, but now you'll dream in color. There's a bunch of religious imagery. And
Jesus.
That's when we cut to the next segment.
Yep.
Yeah, what would you give this segment?
That one I would give 6.5, I suppose.
Wow.
I am going to give a 2 just because I feel bad for the guy because he couldn't beat off with a camera next to him the whole time. And I would say how many people have seen this? About 200. About 200 viewers had to watch this guy jack off.
Well,
it's not fair to that guy.
A lot of my grading on this is from a gorehound perspective.
No, I totally get that.
For me, I would give this a 2. This was probably the least favorite of all the stories because I really...
Because it made
it's
you
about a dude beating
off.
off.
The guy jack off.
No, not I don't.
It's
mind,
not it's the only movie that I own where a guy's jacking off.
And I don't mind
taxidermia.
Well, the porn I have, there's a fluff part, but that's it.
There's a segment in Small Gauge Trauma called For Love of Mother Only. Where I have a lot of movies that show graphic scenes of...
I like Doom Generation.
Solo masturbation.
And there's some beating off with
there's a lot of
that.
Yeah.
But no, this didn't make me uncomfortable whatsoever. I just didn't understand.
No, was that an accusation
with this one?
No one accused you of that.
No, well, that's what you said. It sounded like it made it I might have been uncomfortable.
No, it wasn't the uncomfortable part. I mean, I know what the guy's doing. I know exactly how to do that. What he's doing because I do that a lot.
But I just didn't get what the director was trying to tell with that story.
Oh, I can tell you. Hold on.
Well, let's wait till the end.
Okay, all right.
But
okay, so the bleeding Jesus outside of the church ruins, which is funny because there's this guy on the sidewalk and there's a lot of cars driving by behind him. So I kind of wonder how many people drove by and saw this guy pretending to be a bleeding Jesus
in real life
outside of a ruined church and wondered what the fuck was going on. But these 3 women they run up and they make off with Jesus.
Who doesn't nowadays?
And there's a